Hello, Jaguar fans, and welcome to Jaguar Sports Nation. I'm your host, Zamar Tompkins, and with me here today, I've got one of my absolute favorite people walking the halls here at Governor State University. She is the head coach of the women's basketball team. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Mack. Coach, how you feeling today?
What's up, Z? I'm doing all right.
I'm happy that we got you here today. We got a very exciting interview, and I'm happy that you stopped by to come talk with us.
Well, let's get it. Like, it's always a pleasure me being here with you. Like, we think you do a great job for us, so in the media department. So we are beyond excited to step in and do these things for you guys, because you guys mean the world to our program, as you guys know. So.
Well, before you have me blushing in here too much, let's go ahead, just get into the interview. So this past season, we had a lot of seniors on the roster this year. All of them made a tremendous impact on the season. I know it's kind of early to be looking forward to next season and who's going to be on the team, but I'm going to dig a little bit and see, do we have anybody that we expecting to take advantage of that grad year next season?
Yeah, a couple of them are taking advantage of it. Tab's going to take advantage of it. Angie's going to take advantage of it. And Trinity's going to take advantage of it. So most of the seniors that we have that option with, they're going to take advantage of it. I'm just so thankful and grateful for them to trust me with their grad year, So they've been here with me for 4 years. They all earning degrees. They will graduate in May, and then they all will be in grad school come the fall. So that's the biggest award that we can have as coaches, is to see them earn that degree and they coming back for more. So
love to hear it. You mentioned a lot of my favorite Jaguars there when you talked about who's coming back, but you also did not mention one of my favorite Jaguars who did graduate this season, that being Lottie Miller. You've had a lot of people that come and go through this program, but talk to me about having a player like Lottie, or a big impact player that comes in here and then they finish up and then they just got to go.
I want to say this is my 5th season here at Governor State, and all my kids who have left from under me, whether I came into them or recruited them, have left here with degrees. But when Lottie came in from Parkland, like on senior night, I told her this. I was scared for her to go into the real world after last year, when she graduated with her bachelor's, and she could have been done. And the decision that she and I made for her to come back this year is because I felt that she needed me a little longer, not as a basketball player, but as a young woman. And that relationship built to what she performed this year, with that effort, the attitude, the toughness, the mentality that she just wanted to run through a wall with anything that I asked her to do. And she trusted me with that next step for her. And it just was amazing watching her grow from her first year with me to this last year with me. And you can just see the change in her mentality of just who she is as a young woman. And I told her this just literally on Monday, that I'm proud of the woman that you're leaving this institution. And that was the most important thing to me, is like, she's going to be successful in no matter what she does, whether it's the finishing up her grad degree to going into the criminal justice field. She's going to be very successful because of the mentality we built in for her. So, and I'm glad people got to see that. That extra fight, that extra toughness, that extra grind. Like, I'm glad that people got to see who she really is, and not being held back from fear of the success. So I'm so proud of her. She earned everything she deserved this year. The respect she earned and who she earned herself to be against the schools in conference was well deserved.
All right, and you got me almost ready to tear up there, because I always tell people Lottie's one of my favorite players on the team, because every time you see her, she's always going to take accountability. Even when it's like something, a simple mistake on the floor, she's always going to take accountability for it instead of pointing the finger at the next person. But in your answer, you talked about growth for Lottie. I want to step forward and talk about another one of your Jaguars who had a tremendous season, that being Angelique Cowan. She had a 36-point game, this season, which is a career high for her. She's been a CCAC Player of the Week, and she's also been named to the CCAC All Conference team. Talk to me about the impact that she's had on success for the team this year.
When Tabby went down with injury, it could have went very south for Angie. And this year I felt her finally be comfortable in the role of putting the team on her back, because that's normally what Tabby would do. And we didn't have Tabby. And Angie literally just changed her mindset. She changed her mindset. She changed how much time she spent in the gym. She changed the attitude of saying, why not me? And she performed. When we recruited Angie, we recruited her to come in here and do this from her freshman year. As freshmen, they get a little confidence and it builds and it builds. And she missed out on her freshman year because she broke her foot. And then her sophomore year and junior year, we had Breezy, we had Amber, we had Tabby. So it was a lot of success around her. And this year, I finally felt as if she said, why not me? And we've been telling her this entire time. You got the tools, you got the mindset, you got the grind. Make it be you. And she did that. Angie played. I still felt like she could have gave me a little more, as always you expect from your great players. Just for her. Angie deserved that second team all conference. She earned that second team all conference by the work she put in, but this is who she is. This is the expectation for her. This is the work she puts in on and off the court. The kid has a 4.0 in the classrooms. So she's not only just a hard worker in basketball, she's a hard worker in life. And now she's reaping the rewards of that. And it's only, she just touched the ceiling this year. And I literally just met with Angie today, and that was our conversation. You touched the ceiling, now listen to me to help you surpass that. And that's the grind that we're putting in this summer. And I think she's going to come back at the best she's been. And that says a lot with the performance she put on this year. And that was just the tip of the iceberg. She's a great person, academically, athletically, and a hard worker. So I'm proud of her. Like I said to everybody, 11 earned what she got. She earned that. Nobody gave her that. She earned that. So it's all due respect to her.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head there. I'm very proud of what she did this year. And I feel like I'm speaking for all the Jaguar fans when I say that. You also talked about the grind that you planning on putting in this summer. I know you, and I know that you do a really good job as far as bringing your group together to be able to go out on the floor and play for each other. And from what I do understand, you do some team building exercises throughout your summers and training camp. So talk to me about like the things that you do to bring your group together, and explain to me like some of the exercises that you do.
It's all like when you have kids that, of course, every year is different. Every year you're going to have new people. Every year you're going to have kids graduate. And it's up to me to make sure that they feel like they're welcome. And it's also up to my returners to make the new kids feel like they're welcome, by also making the returners feel as though the returners are impacted enough to help them through that process. And over the course of the summer, we did a whole lot of stuff. Like this summer, last summer, we did a summer league basketball-wise. We did a beach day, to where we went out and did a beach workout, and then we ordered pizza and games. We played cornhole. We did the ultimate frisbee buckets. Jen and her family brought softball, baseball. Tammy's family brought different games and stuff. So we opened it up to not just our players, but their families as well, because we want them to support us as much as they want to support their kids, that we want them to support the program. So we did a lot of things like that. We did a movie night through the course of the season, to where we went to go see Black Panther when it got released at midnight. I don't know what I was thinking doing that, because then we also had practice at like 7 a.m. So it was insane, but the girls were excited about it. We basically had the whole movie theater to ourselves. They brought blankets, and we was just, in there having a good time as a team. The coaches were there. So it's just little things like that to just make sure that they're connecting. to make sure that they're trusting one another, to make sure that they're trusting us as coaches. And then it's a lot that we put on our leaders to now that they have to take a hold of that as well and keep that connection throughout the course of the season. So we're big on team bonding because I want every kid that comes through my program to trust me with not just basketball, because that's not what it's about. They got to be happy. They got to enjoy who they're around. So I keep an open door policy to where we build that throughout the course of the summer. So we just take it day by day. I talk to my kids about what will be fun for them to do, and we just put our heads together and we make it happen. So
I love to hear that, and I always love to see how that translates to the court. So I think it translates very well. So I do want to take a little pause here. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and pay some bills. So stay put, Jaguar fans. We'll be right back, and we'll be right back with Coach T Mac. Welcome back, Jaguars. We're still here with Coach T Mac, and we're getting ready to take a deeper dive into our most recent basketball season. Coach, let's talk about the performances from our team this past year. We've had some bright spots. We've kind of had some low points as well. But talk to me about what are some of the things that you've seen from your team this year that you want to build upon, and what are some of the things that you want to take into next season?
I think when this team bought into each other, we were tough. We were scary. We were the team that nobody wanted to play, which was rightfully so with all the pieces we had. With Tabby being injured or not, we were still very good. And I think that when we didn't have that, it made us very bad at some points in our season. And sometimes we lost, I think we lost majority of our games that we did lose this season with equivalent, I want to say, less than 4 games by double digits. So that shows you how competitive we were. And the games that we did lose, it was mental lapses. It wasn't the talent, wasn't the IQ, it wasn't the passion, it wasn't the fight, the competitiveness. It was the mental lapses of little things as not making a free throw in overtime, or we fouled to send somebody to the line, or turn over the ball, or not run the correct play. Like the little mental lapses that we had cost us this year because the games were so close. And that's something that I think the girls truly learned from this year individually, of what can I do better to not make that happen again. And that's where we're striving for. As the postseason goes on, we're about to start postseason workouts and all that stuff, and the mentality has to change. So what we're going into for next season, we're going to take our competitiveness, we're going to take our effort, because one thing about my team, we're going to play defense. We're going to have high intensity. We're going to be fun to watch. We're going to be very competitive. And we have to take that mental strength and that mental competitiveness for 40 minutes. And that's where the summer comes in. That's the goal for me as a coach, is to make those mental lapses minute, very, very minute, because they cost us. And the girls finally seen why when you don't make free throws in practice, you run. When you don't make your layups in practice, you run. And I think they finally, this season hit hard for that. You know, like when something happens and they say it hit home, this hit home for us because you hear about it. Like, there's no way you lost the game because you missed a free throw or you made that foul or the refs called that call. And it happened to us all season. So that was a vital point in our season, is that those mental lapses cost us more games than we wanted them to. So that's the goal moving forward, to limit those mental lapses.
All right, and we talked about limiting those mental lapses and building upon that. Another bright spot from the season was Kendall Winston.
Mm-hmm.
She came in as a freshman. She did some great things. She shot the lights out this year. She had a game where she did tie the record for most three-pointers made in a game. And she's also been taking a whole bunch of strides moving forward in her own development. Talk to me about what you're expecting from her next season.
Kendall is probably one of the better shooters that have came through this program. And I want her to continue to feel that. I want her to continue to grow from that. But she's not just a shooter as people label her. I didn't see strides through the course of the season to where Kendall was making the right reads. Whether she was making the shots or not, they were the right reads. And as a freshman, you look at that as a coach and say, you build on that. You build on those opportunities. Like when they start closing out hard on her, she wasn't forcing it, or she wasn't pass. She'll put the ball on the floor, get to the rim, or shoot the pull up. So she's elevating her game because other people are forcing her to. So she understands that you earned your stripes this year, right? You earned that record this year. I told Kendall that I feel like if she puts in the work this summer as where we're expecting all our players to do, Kendall's going to break that record. She's going to break it, because if you look at the shots that she took during the course of the game, she always had more than 8 attempts. She's playing for a coach that, hey, if it's a good shot for you, let it fly. She's playing for a coach like that. So if she finds that, because if you remember that specific game, she shot 20 threes. I don't think nobody realized how many threes she shot. And she made 7. But 3 of those were halfway down and popped out. That's going way beyond that record. And it was the choice of the ball bouncing out. It was a great shot for her. So if she keeps understanding that, and then she said, Coach, well, why do you feel like I'm going to break the record? Because you're getting the looks. Now, it'll be different if she wasn't getting the looks. Like now it's like, now you're forcing it. But she's getting the looks. Now it's up to her to knock them down. And I think she will. So that's something that is very, very true to Kendall's heart, that she was that close. And you can tell in her mind that she's like, man, I want that. And I'm a coach that I'm like, I want you to have that. You know, when Kennedy was here last year and Kate held the record for most threes in the season, and it was our senior night of that last game, and I was like, hey, Kate, I'm riding with Kennedy on this one. I got to let her get this, and Kennedy got it. And Kate was the first person to go up into her after the locker room and, you know, and hug her and tell her congratulations. And that's what we want. We want records to be broken here. And she has the capability to do so. So we're excited about having her back, and having somebody that's out there that can space the floor. And she earned her respect this year.
All right, totally agree. I had no idea what she was going to bring this year, but after I saw what she was capable of, I definitely put her down as one of my favorite Jaguars. So, talking about what we planning on doing next season, an important part of winning basketball games is being able to play on the road. I know we get comfortable playing here in the Arc. It's an amazing atmosphere, but you got to take that energy and go out on the road. So tell me what goes into the preparation of being able to win a road game and not having that home court advantage?
Um, I feel like my team is it's crazy to say that they compete better on the road. What it is, I don't know. And not to say that we don't compete at home, because we do. That's just the automatic comfortability, right? Like you said, it's our home court, so we're here coming into a road game in tough environments. You got to be mentally prepared for that. And like I said, I can count on one hand the games that I truly feel like that we wasn't ready for those games and we lost by double digits. But one game, which was home, which was against Clark when they was fifth in the nation, ranked fifth in the nation, and we competed with them here at home, and we couldn't buy a shot. And this is our home court, So the rims are the same, the ball is the same, the dimensions of the court is the same, and that's how we look at it. That's how I present it to my team. A game is a game, no matter where we're at. We want to compete, we want to show up, and we want to put ourselves in a position to win. So they just show up and play games, no matter if we're on the road, no matter if we're traveling long distance or 30 minutes. Like, they show up ready to play. And when we're home, we just get to walk into our own gym. So they understand that that's how I present every game to them. Nothing changes but the location. And that's how we present the game at that moment and in that time. Depending on where we go, it's a different preparation for the environment with the fans and stuff like that. And then that takes an extra step on it.
All right, and I got a question. I know this might be a little bit of a tough one. It might kind of be like choosing your favorite kid, but I want to know, out of all the games that we played this season, is any one your favorite game? Or most memorable game, I should say.
This year, I want to say it was the Olivet game that we won here for our senior night. And, like, that game meant a lot to everybody, especially for Lot. And it was just something that we wanted for her so bad, because we wanted her to know how much she meant to our program. And I think everybody who played in that game gave their best. I think that was the best game Trinity had. That was the best game that I seen our players react with one another of just, I'm here for you. And it was a fun game for me to coach against one of the best teams in our conference, one of the best teams in the NAIA. It meant a lot for us to do that on our home floor for our last game. And it meant a lot for us to give that to Lai. I think we owed her that, and we felt like we owed us to play our best. So that was a fun game for us. And then I want to say in the Christmas tournament, in the Winter Classic, we played so well that game. Like, we played really well, and I think that opened their eyes to see, like, man, we're good. When we set in, we're good. And it's always fun for them to have those type games. Offensively, because I'm pride myself on defense. So we focus in on that, and then when the offense takes off like that and they're having fun, like, that's fun to coach. That's fun for them to play. So that game are the two games that I truly remember out of this season that sticks out.
All right, Coach, you talked to me about two of your favorite games this year, and you did bring up senior night. And I'm glad that you did mention that game, because before that game, Lottie Miller, she had a lot of good stuff to say, not only about you and your program, but about Governor State as a whole. So let's go ahead and listen to what she had to say.
Which leads me to the most powerful and influential person I have ever met, my coach, T-Mack. T-Mack has performed every role in my life when it has been needed. She has been a mother, friend, coach, motivator, shoulder to cry on, and so much more. I was a lost 20-year-old girl with many doubts before she came into my life. She saved me, and she continues to save me. And for that, I will be eternally thankful to have as a coach, but more importantly, a role model who I can now carry with me for the rest of my life. Thank you, Coach T-Mack from Lottie Miller. Let's hear it for the seniors and their parents this evening.
So we just heard a very small excerpt of what she had to say about you and your program on senior night. But after hearing that and being there on senior night, tell me, how does it feel, the connection that you and Lottie have?
It meant a lot that that's how she felt. She's a kid that goes through a lot, that's been through a lot, and means a lot to me. And for her to view me as, that mother figure for her, words can't describe of what my program is supposed to mean to these kids. And that says it all because it's more than basketball. We didn't have a successful year on the court like we wanted to, but at the end of the day, when your kids leave like that, it made my mom proud. It made her family proud. And she's going to be okay, And that was one of the most emotional things that, the girls joked about it after, like, oh, coach, you're tearing up. We never seen you tear up, and as it brings tears to my eyes now, that the respect that she has for me and my program is unwavering, it's unchanging, but it took us 3 years to build that. And she's somebody I would be so proud of and always support no matter what she does in life, because she has grown that much. And the love that we mutually share would never change. And it even went so far that after that game, one of Olivette's parents called my office phone, and I was like, when I heard, she was like, my daughter plays for Olivette, I was like, oh Lord, what happened? Like, that was the first natural instant. I was like, why is a parent from Olivette calling me? And she literally was in tears on my answer machine. Basically, she said her daughter loves her coach. I love Lauren at Olivet, one of my all-time favorite people, loves her coach. And she just said that, that how my player felt about me moved her and her family. And she couldn't go another day without telling me how proud she was of my program and how my girls are represented and how they truly respect and love me, that the whole audience felt that from Olivet and from Governor State. And she was in tears just thanking me for being a person that looks out for my kids the way that I do, and that the players show respect and love me the way that they do. So that was probably something that has never happened to me before in my career. And that's a testament to the relationships that we build. So Lottie's special. She's special mentally, physically, emotionally, discipline-wise. Like, she's a special kid, and I will always be there for her no matter where she is or where her life takes her or where my life takes me. Like, she's one of the ones that will always be there.
Beautiful. It almost made me want to tear up a bit, just hearing about the relationship and knowing what Lottie means to not only you but this program, and just knowing that y'all have that mutual respect and love for each other. So beautiful stuff. I'm gonna ask you one more question. I'm gonna let you get up out of here. How can a athlete reach out to you to be a part of the Jaguars, or if they just want to be on the inside of what the Jaguars are doing? How can they see that? How can they reach out to you?
They can reach out to me, first of all, via email is the best way to contact me. It's TMACK, the number 2, at govstate.edu. And then go to our athletic website at Governor State University. And then we have an athletic tab, or you can go to gsujaguars.com. And all our information is under women's basketball, from our rosters to our schedule to coaches and their emails. And then we also have a social media link that you guys can go to. And we post a lot of our social media stuff there that they can reach out to us on those on that social media. But email is always best, or stopping by my office if you're already on campus. That will be awesome too. Like I'm a very open doors person. Kids walk past my office all the time just to say, hey, so if you want to reach out, those are a couple of ways. And then if you ask any of my student athletes, like everybody will direct you to how to contact me.
I can't vouch for you and say that when your door is open, you are a very open door type of person. So if you're looking for T-Mac, come walk past the door. If it's open, you're good to go. So, but Coach, I just want to say thank you for joining us here. We really appreciate you giving us your time and being able to come in and give us such eloquent answers like you do all the time.
Appreciate it.
So thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys' time, and always a pleasure being here.
And to everyone watching at home, if you're looking for anything as far as Jaguars rosters, stats, schedules, go to gsujaguars.com and everything you're looking for will be just right there. Thank you for watching Jaguar Sports Nation. I'm your host, Zamar Tompkins. See you next time.